Now, I'm not a betting man, but I do have an idea as to which fighters are guaranteed to win their next fight in 2024. And yeah, I don't necessarily have the best track record with this type of video. As you can tell by this thumbnail of the video that I put out about 6 months ago, I did get a couple of those wrong. But UFC in 2023 was the year of the upset. It was the year of the fluke. Maybe not fluke. I'm kind of just coping there, but it was a strange year. You guys can't deny it. And I think that the MMA gods are done taking their frustrations out on us. And I think things are going to make a little bit more sense. It's going to be a logical year. Things are back to normal. And because of that, we're not going to take a lot of risks. These are guaranteed to hit. If they don't hit, that's because there's some freak incident that's going to happen in this fight. And of course, we're not picking fights based on a freak chance. Okay? So without further ado, let's look at the guaranteed winners in 2024, the locks of the year. The first one being Merab Dvalishvili is going to beat Henry Cejudo, and it's going to be a walk in the park. He's going to make it look easy. Now, I don't think he's going to choke him out. I don't think he's going to hurt him. He's not going to knock him out. But he's going to go out there, goblin style, 50 takedown attempts. I don't care if Henry Cejudo and his gold medal stops every single takedown out there. He's still going to lose this fight. You guys know the stat. 35-year-olds always lose in title fights, especially in the lower weight classes. And Henry's not 35. He's 37. All right? He's 2 years removed from the stat. Whereas Merab Dvalishvili, I know he looks like a 50-year-old man. He's only 32, Merab is. And not only is he only 32, unlike Henry Cejudo, who's got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You could talk about his gold medal championship grit. You could talk about his resilient mindset. Henry Cejudo is sitting on the couch with Mike Tyson, smoking big blunts at Christmas parties, getting fat in the offseason, questioning his career, fighting out of boredom. Oh, man, maybe I should come back. I'm getting a little bit bored on the sidelines. Merab Dvalishvili is a guy that probably starves himself year-round. This guy is unbelievably hungry, okay? That's why he wins his fights. How do you think this gas tank is even possible? It's because this guy has a hunger that just isn't fathomable to the average person. Please, I'm hungry! If you think that Cejudo's going to go in there with his gold medal and win this fight based on having that wrestling pedigree, you're in for a rude awakening. I know the Weasel picked Henry Cejudo, making the same mistake that people did with the Aljamain Sterling fight. Oh, Aljo is not going to be able to compete with a gold medal wrestler. His striking's not up to par. With Merab Dvalishvili, it's not about the skill, man. You just can't keep up with it. You can't keep up with it. He shoots 70 takedowns. You could stuff every single last one of them. You're going to be too tired and preoccupied with the threat of the takedown that you're not going to be able to deal with all the pepper shots, all the pepper leg kicks, and the 10 feints in between all of them, and it never slows down. Some guys need 3 rounds to break someone. Merab Dvalishvili needs 5 minutes. Look at Peter Yan. After 5 minutes with Merab, he had looked like he had seen a ghost. If you expect Cejudo to go out there and snipe this guy with his little karate stance, I have something for you. He's an overrated brawler on the feet that bites down on the mouthpiece. This guy isn't Sean O'Malley. He's not Conor McGregor. He's a decent striker, all right? He outstruck Aljo in the 5th round and got outstruck for the majority of the fight. Landed his best shots. This is not a one-punch KO guy. He's a good striker. He's just not the savant people make him out to be. If you're going to beat Merab, you're going to have to knock him out. You're not doing it over 3 rounds. Cejudo and his wrestling, man, great wrestling, but you couldn't hold down a fly. Good luck. You take down Merab a couple of times, he's getting right back up to his feet because he's too hungry to be held down. All right? Merab Dvalishvili and his hunger cannot possibly be stopped. His gas tank is alien-like. And again, it's just this reaction fight. You're going to get broken unless you finish him. You're 37. You're fighting because you're bored. You're not fighting because you have to. This is going to be a Trash Talkers Get Dominated Part 55 with Merab Dvalishvili. You can look at his Instagram story after this fight. He'll be posting the 1 takedown he gets. He'll be posting the facial expression of Henry Cejudo in the 2nd round, getting broken, getting elbowed in the face. And, of course, Merab Dvalishvili isn't going to get his title shot. That's something that keeps him hungry. The UFC's never going to give him a title shot. And he'll just get better and better and better. This is not some joke prediction either. If you guys think I'm fucking around with this, I'm not. Again, this is basically a title fight. Merab dominated Yan in a way where he's never been beaten. Yan arguably beat O'Malley, who's the current champ. That's a fight that could have gone either way. Don't come at me for saying, oh, you're still harping on that. I'm not harping on it. I'm just saying that's a fight that could have gone either way. Merab literally beat the guy that arguably beat O'Malley. And his 1-1 with Aljamain Sterling and his win over Aljo, you could talk about the knee all you want. He was beating Aljo's ass. Okay? He got 48-47. Merab Dvalishvili made Gane look easy. I bring the stat up again, 37 by the time this fight happens. I know I said he was 37. He's 36 right now. He'll be 37 when this fight happens. Merab is going to be 33. I don't think that the 37-year-old Henry is the same guy that he was in his prime. And even though it's a 3-rounder, it's always like this with Merab. It's like, dude, a 3-rounder with Gane, he would have won that fight. People were talking about how Gane in a 5-rounder is almost impossible to beat. Merab goes out there, beats him in the first 3 rounds. Merab takes 3 rounds off of Jose Aldo, who's excellent in the first 3 rounds. Aldo had the takedown defense. Peter Yan had the takedown defense. It don't matter, man. You're going to have to hold this guy down for 3 rounds. Henry Cejudo doesn't have that type of control. He's losing this fight. It's going to be gnarly. And if you're a Cejudo fan, don't even watch. Don't even watch. It's going to be ugly. You're not going to want to see the facial expression in the second round where there's nothing he can do about Merab's pace. So let's get on to the next one. Next up, we have Bo Nickal versus Cody Brundage. Now, this is the fight that I'm most confident on. Cody Brundage, and I said some crazy shit in the past about some other fights. Let me just say that. I said Dricus du Plessis would have a better chance becoming the president of the United States than he would to beat Robert Whittaker. And he goes out there and he beats Robert Whittaker, and I was dead wrong on that. Cody Brundage, this is a little bit different, guys. Cody Brundage has a better chance at becoming Mahatma Gandhi, literally transforming into Mahatma Gandhi than he does to beat Bo Nickal. All right, Bo Nickal is taking a step down in competition yet again. He went from Jamie Pickett, bottom of the barrel in the UFC to begin with, to Val Woodburn, arguably doesn't deserve to be in the UFC. We'll give him another chance maybe. And now we go down to Cody Brundage, who is by far the worst fighter in the UFC, with no heart, with absolutely no resilience at all. Cody Brundage, who got out-grappled by Cedricus Dumas. And you think Bo Nickal is going to lose this fight? Cody Brundage has a better chance of taking the beaches of Normandy by himself, storming the beaches of Normandy, and winning the Battle of D-Day all by himself than he does to beat Bo Nickal, who's probably going to go out there, feint a takedown. Cody Brundage is going to react on that feint. He's going to catch a big overhand from Bo right on the jaw. It's going to put him out cold, or he's going to get taken down and subbed in 1 minute. And so I don't want to be the guy to tell you to do something that's irresponsible, but I may be betting my house on this fight. I may be betting everything that I have on this fight because you know what? There's absolutely nothing to fear unless there's a freak element. And you know what? I take that back. There may be a freak element. You never want to bet on these things that much because you don't stand to win, but, you know, put your whole life on it, basically. Put your whole life on it. You'll be fine. Okay? Bo Nickal goes out there, destroys Cody Brundage, doesn't have a chance to win this fight. We don't need to hear an argument. We don't need to see a breakdown. Cody Brundage's only chance is that Bo Nickal throws a kick and somehow, some way has the same injury that Rafael Fiziev has. He blows his knee out. All right? He blows his knee out. Someone's going to have to throw a banana peel in the cage for Bo Nickal to lose this fight. Again, I'm not saying Bo's that great. There's going to be people typing in the comments right now, whoa, you're really hyping up Bo Nickal like he's some kind of great. I'm not saying he's an all-time great. I'm just saying Bo Nickal obviously is way better than the bottom of the barrel in the UFC. He's kind of proven that already. Look at every single one of his fights. He's beat everyone in the first round. He's knocking people out in the first minute. He has hands. He has power. The guy is one of the best college wrestlers in the history of college wrestling. The only reason he didn't make the Olympic team is because he lost when he was trying out for it against the guy that won the gold medal. Bo Nickal is going to toast this man. And it sucks because the UFC just won't learn that the fans don't like when they build up fighters this way. We want to see people earn their stripes in the UFC. We want to see a step up in competition because this isn't interesting. It's not an interesting fight. Respect to Cody Brundage. Respect to Cody Brundage. But I don't think that he should take this. It's a payday to get KO'd. You may as well just stand in front of Francis Ngannou and take a big old left hook to the jaw for 50 stacks. He's not even going to get paid. This guy's probably getting paid $10,000 to show up for that. This is a dumb move from Bo. I'm sorry, not from Bo. It's a dumb move from Cody. Man, if I were Cody Brundage, dude, I would not take this fight. Because there's no way, bro. You got to be crazy delusional. And I understand fighters are delusional all the time, but he should not take this fight. This is a bad one for him. This is going to ruin his UFC career. He should realize that. He needs to get a win. Thank God this guy came back with a win and slammed someone in his last fight. That's not happening to Bo. All right? It's not happening to Bo. We would have a different conversation if this was Bo versus Albert Duraev, if this was Bo versus Andre Muniz. We could have a nice conversation. We could have a nice breakdown. I'm not breaking this down. This is an irresponsible fight for Cody Brundage. Someone please convince this man to pull out of the fight so that we can actually get an entertaining matchup. It's a waste of our time. That's really why I don't like this fight. It's a total waste of our time. But it's a lock. It's a lock. All right? That's all I'm saying. This is the Locks of the Year video. Bo Nickal's going to absolutely run through this guy. I can't wait to see this happen. I'm going to be taunting the MMA gods. Bring your banana peels. Bring your banana peels. That won't even save him. Let's get on to the next one. Next up, we have whoever Conor McGregor is going to be fighting, unless it's Tony Ferguson. The only guy I see Conor beating right now, where I'm not going to think it's like some super one-sided matchup where Conor's definitely going to lose, is Tony, who's on a 7-fight loss streak. Conor came out today. In the media, In the media, Conor came out. Well, I feel like he's done it a couple of times with these Instagram posts, but Conor announced that he is going to be fighting, and he's going to be announcing his opponent on the 1st of January. If it's Tony Ferguson, that's probably the weakest guy you could possibly put him up against. And for all the McGregor fans that swear that this guy has winnable matchups in the rankings, if this guy chooses Tony Ferguson, will you at least admit that he's completely done, he's lost his confidence, and that is the weakest, scaredest possible pick you could make, coming back to fight a guy on a 6-fight loss streak that just got dominated by Paddy Pimblett? If it's not Tony Ferguson, he's going to lose his next fight. Jim Miller bum rushes him. Conor McGregor, too ring rusted, too slow, 35 years old, not only 35, but totally inactive at 35. He's lost his timing. He's been training with bantamweights. Yes, man, he's not being tested in the gym. The guy's body isn't conditioned to take a calf kick. Think about all the time he's taken off throughout the past 5 years, gets hit with one little calf kick, and he's crumpling. Then comes back 6 months later. His leg breaks in half. He's no longer as conditioned. His body isn't holding up. He's aged himself with all the party drugs. This is not taking time off and recovering with the fam. This is not doing that. This guy is ruining his body. He's ruining his recovery. He's not pushing himself in the gym. He's never had a great gas tank. Think about how bad it'll be now when he's getting tested. You think this guy wants to go to war? At least Tony Ferguson can hang in there a little bit. Tony Ferguson's not getting finished by Paddy Pimblett while he's getting his ass kicked. At least he's hanging in there. At least he still has a gas tank. Conor McGregor gets hit with one big gnarly overhand from someone like Michael Chandler. He's against the fence and he's cowering away. I'm telling you, this guy can't be the nail. You'd be wrong to pick him. All right, if you're going to talk about his timing, he's so precise. Yeah. Keep talking about how precise this guy is. His last win was over Donald Cerrone. The guy wilted in 1 second as soon as he faced any adversity. That guy was coming off of 2 KO losses in a row. And that was years ago. That was 4 years ago. The easiest fight of Dustin Poirier's career. Crumpled after taking a couple of leg kicks. This guy gets kicked in the leg a couple of times. It's over. It's over. He can't be the nail. He's got a 2-minute chance. That's it. And he's just not the same guy anymore. Sorry. He's not the same guy. So, if Conor fights anyone, bet on them. Bet on them. They're going to win, unless it's Tony. And in that case, yeah, Conor could maybe get a win. But wow, what an amazing showcase from Conor McGregor coming back to face the guy that's lost 7 fights in a row that should be retired. That would be the weakest pick ever. If Nate Diaz fights him, yeah, I'm sure Conor's going to kick Nate's ass for 1 round. Because Nate Diaz is also washed. He's also not got any pop. He's not fast anymore. But Diaz is tough. He'll hang in there. He could take damage. And Conor McGregor would gas out. And it would be the same fight that we saw when they first fought back in 2016 when Diaz submitted him because he was too exhausted to continue. That's exactly what will happen. Think about it. The 2016 prime McGregor gasses out after, 8 minutes of fighting? He gasses out after 8 minutes of fighting? And you expect the 2024 version of Conor McGregor that's been destroying his body in the pub that's been absolutely abusing himself, that's not hungry anymore, that's not pushing himself, that's not actually sparring hard, that's not got the same durability that he did in the past? You expect this guy to be able to go past the 8-minute mark? Just stop. Conor McGregor, no way does this guy win against his next opponent. It's a lock. Whoever he's fighting, that's a lock. Next up, we have Tom Aspinall annihilating Ciryl Gane. Now, this fight may not happen within the first half of the year, 2024, but I think it would make sense that it happens at some point. I know that Aspinall is trying to spite Ciryl Gane because Gane ducked him and tried to big time him, saying, you don't deserve my time. I'm not fighting backwards. Of course, Aspinall fills in for the Jon Jones fight, knocks out the boogeyman, Sergey Pavlovich. Now he calls the shots, and he's not trying to give Gane the time of day. But if these guys fight, and Gane's going to be at the top of that division for quite some time, let's say Gane gets a win over Pavlovich, or Gane beats someone else, which he's capable of doing, this is probably going to be a future title fight. And I do believe that Aspinall runs through this man however he wants, okay? You have to think about it like this. Ciryl Gane's way to win fights is by being the guy that's too fast, he's too light on his feet, he's not necessarily a one-punch knockout guy in the heavyweight division, he doesn't carry a lot of power in his shots, and he could beat up all these plodsters like Sergey Spivak, he could beat up these guys like Marcin Tybura and Fat Tai Tuivasa, but I believe that if you put him in there against another guy that's known for being exceptionally fast for a heavyweight, all right, that has the footwork like Tom Aspinall, look how easily Tom Aspinall was able to evade the big power of Sergey Pavlovich. Yeah, Pavlovich tagged him once. He ate a good shot, which kind of proves that he has a good chin. He ate a clean left hook from Pavlovich, but he made him miss everything else. Usually, Pavlovich lands one shot. He's already found his range. He's teeing off on you, and he's landing 5 more behind it because he's a pretty good boxer. Aspinall made him look easy, knocked him out with one punch. I think it was a combo. I actually think it was a combo, but he hit him with a right hand, and then he followed up after it, but Pavlovich was done after the first one. Gane has been dropped before. Gane's ground game has been exposed. Jon Jones ran through him. Aspinall can take him down, submit him easily. He's massive for the heavyweight division. He's been training jiu-jitsu since he was a little kid. He's very skilled down there. He's not like these other heavyweights that rely on their strength and their size alone. He's got the skills. He's got the speed. He's got the one-shot ability. He's got a good chin. I just don't think it's possible for Ciryl Gane to dance around him for 5 rounds because this isn't a normal heavyweight that moves like the average heavyweight that's just plodding around. Aspinall would annihilate this guy. Absolutely annihilate him. All right? So if this fight happens, Aspinall's the lock. That's the pick. There's just no way Gane wins this fight, in my opinion. All right, of course, anything could happen. Gane lands a flush front kick to the face. Gane lands a flush head kick in the first couple of minutes. That's his chance to win. But if this is like a Gane that can land his normal shots, land in a couple of jabs, a couple of right hands, Aspinall's eating those shots like Tic Tacs, following up with his own, blitzkrieging Gane, knocking him out, taking him down with a blast double leg, twisting him into a pretzel. This is a lock, okay? This is a total lock. Let's get on to the next one. And last but not least, this is a tragic one. Dominick Reyes and Carlos Ulberg. Carlos Ulberg is a lock in 2024. This is going to be on the first pay-per-view of the year, 297. And Dominick Reyes just doesn't have a chin anymore. This guy, Carlos Ulberg, has one of the best left hooks in the game. He's a great striker. He's not showing signs of being the next Flying Dutchman of the UFC. And some guys don't have a great chin. Dominick Reyes, as I just mentioned, is the Flying Dutchman of the UFC. It's very tragic. I am going to be making a Dominick Reyes documentary. Be on the lookout for that in the next week. That will come out. It's going to be a respectful documentary. I'm not going to be clowning the guy. He has a very unfortunate career, but I just have to say it how it is. Dominick Reyes is going to get knocked out in the first round. It's tragic. It's tragic. This guy goes from beating Jon Jones to getting brutally knocked out time and time again. I just don't see him winning this fight, man. Unless he changes up his style completely and he's learned how to submit guys. Maybe he can go in there, take him down. But Carlos Ulberg actually showcased some good heart and some good grappling and some good cardio in his last outing. He actually got the submission win. I just think this is going to be an easy KO for Ulberg. Dominick Reyes' chin, it's terrible. He may have the worst chin in the UFC right now. The trajectory's not there. Yeah, this is going to be a sad one to watch. I think he has the most tragic downfall in the history of MMA, because at least guys like Tony Ferguson became a fan favorite, became famous. He's a UFC legend now. He has one of the best win streaks in lightweight history. He won the interim title. At least someone like Conor McGregor, for example, who has a bad downfall, at least career-wise, like all the fights that he's losing, not even as bad as Tony Ferguson, also is the biggest star in combat sports history, right? BJ Penn became a champion, had a fall off, but at least became a champion. Dominick Reyes got robbed, got shafted, nothing for it, and here he is about to get knocked out again. So this is a bad matchup for him. Reyes with his 1-2s, it's just not going to be good enough for someone as classically trained as Carlos Ulberg, who is a really high-level city kickboxer. There's no way Dominick Reyes wins this fight. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what your locks of the year are. Let's hope that these are... Well, I actually don't want all of these to come true. I kind of want Dominick Reyes to get back in the win column. Who else would I want to win? Yeah, every other fight, I kind of am okay with the outcomes that we're going to get. As I said, we're going to get them. They're all locks. Until next time.